Welcome to another episode of OSFirstTimer. In this episode, you're going to be trying out AmigaOS 3.1 as if it was being run on the Amiga 4000. AmigaOS was originally developed by Commodore International that was first launched on the Amiga 1000 in 1985, which you have previously tried out in an earlier episode of OSFirstTimer. Commodore International are also well known for their Commodore 64 computers. Amiga Workbench 3.1 was the last version released by Commodore themselves before becoming defunct in 1994. So here we go, you're on the AmigaOS 3.1 desktop from 1993. Does it look familiar? Do you remember ever hearing about Amiga computers back in your day?
I've never really associated Amiga with an operating system. I've more associated Amiga with like games and gaming, like Atari and stuff. That's what I've associated Amiga with.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the Commodore 64?
Yeah, that was very popular back when I was a kid. Very popular.
Okay, fantastic. Now, just before you actually try the system out, remember that it's in its raw form, so it may seem lacking in software, but there are many programs that you can install on it back in the day to expand your software collection. Just like Windows, you know how Windows you get it, but then it doesn't come with Microsoft Word and Office and all of that?
Yeah, I understand.
It's like that, it's in its raw form. Although, to be honest, it does have less software in its raw form than Windows does.
So Amiga is another type of operating system like Windows?
Yeah, this operating system is not a Linux distro or a version of Mac or Windows.
Wow. And it's still around?
Yes, but the releases are kind of slow.
Because nobody ever hears of Amiga as an operating system. Well, I don't anyway.
Now, also note that although this is the last version that Commodore released, because Commodore, as you know, went defunct in 1994. So this was the last version that they officially released themselves.
Right. And then who started releasing them after Commodore? Why can't they just release themselves?
An operating system can't develop and release itself.
But Windows releases itself?
No, it doesn't. Microsoft releases it.
Oh. Why doesn't Microsoft just call themselves Windows? So Windows releases Windows and makes it easier.
Microsoft don't just make Windows, they make lots of different things.
Okay, yeah.
Another company took over development of this operating system and released version 3.5 in 1999. So that's a good 6-year gap between this one and the next release. And there's been a few more versions of the operating system released since then. I know that there was a version released in 2008.
Okay.
So your first task is, what time is it?
Well, I know how much memory and graphics and stuff there is.
I think we filmed the last episode of you trying out the AmigaOS 1985 version.
I don't remember, that was so long ago.
We filmed that 2 to 3 years ago. I can't remember exactly when, probably around the 2-year mark ago. And it's funny, but I still remember you looking around, not being able to find the time and saying, well, I know how much memory it's got. That was like a clone of... It's literally like she has no recall of the original
I have
system.
no recall at all whatsoever.
So really,
it's just
this
a big
is
blur for me.
Legitimately her first time.
Okay, so all I've got is a RAM disk and a workbench.
People sometimes call it Amiga Workbench 3.1 and AmigaOS 3.1. In the early days, they referred to it more Workbench, but more modern times, it's more AmigaOS.
Okay. Well, I'm clicking that, hoping a clock will pop out, but it didn't. No. Now the RAM disk has got bigger.
No, it hasn't.
Well, it seems like all the backgrounds change color. Well, I know how to change the background. There we go.
No, that's not changing the background.
So I've done that task. And it's 100% full, it's okay, and there we go. And I'm using 15k now.
You're just messing up everything, to be honest.
Well, where on earth is the clock? There's just no clock anywhere.
Pretend you're using it.
Do you really want to quit Workbench? Well, I do, because it's not really helpful.
Okay, can you stop, please? You were about to mess... If you did that, I would have to...
I cancel?
I would have to reboot the system and get everything all ready again for you. Just...
Okay. Well, it's got to be in one of these little windows.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, you've made your Workbench window large again.
But why is this thing here? Oh, that's gone now. Good. Now I'm going to go into the workbench. Aha! I'm in the workbench now. That's good. I can either expand the bench, I can store things on it, I can start it up, but it's already here, isn't it?
Just so you know, the button you're clicking to supposedly close those windows are not actually closing them.
Gosh, look at this. It doesn't even know what it does itself. See all the question marks? It's confused as well. So how on earth will I do it? Utilities. Clock! I found it!
Yep, you found
I
the clock.
found it in the utilities.
There
Here
it is.
we are.
So what time is it?
It looks like about 9:36 a.m. Oh yeah, the 5th of January 2016. Yeah, that's right.
In case you're getting...
But that's the American
That's the
format.
that's why
I
she
was
was
looking
like,
at it thinking
what,
it's
is it the 1st of May?
May, yeah.
In Australia, we go from the smallest to the largest time frame possible. So the
Yeah.
smallest, we start, it's the 5th of the 1st, 2016. So we start from the
Yeah.
smallest day, then we get larger. Okay, now if you wanted to, just a little extra bonus task here. Let's say you wanted to make that
I don't want any extra bonus tasks.
Let's say you wanted to make that a digital clock. What would you do?
Well, it's got to be one of these little buttons here. So is it that? No, that just makes it smaller. No, that just... I don't know what that does. I mean, back my clock. Oh, just, wait a
So,
sec.
okay, out of interest, what do you think all these buttons do at the top of the screen?
I right-clicked.
You were on the right track. I'll give you a clue. Click on the clock and then right-click again. So click on the clock, yep, now right-click.
Project settings. Aha, digital format. But it didn't do it. What? Where'd it go? Settings, digital. No, doesn't work. Settings.
I'll give you a clue. That's the supposed grayed out look, okay? Digital format. You're not changing the digital format. You want to change it from an analog clock to a digital clock. You can change the way the digital format is. So if it's saying 24-hour time and all that. But how do you, first of all, turn it into an analog clock? You were
No
on the
idea.
right place with the right clicking.
Oh, it's hiding now. I have to get rid of all these.
Okay,
things.
stop.
Wait.
That's not the close button. I'll give you right away, that's not the close button, the buttons you've been pressing.
Well, they're working. There we go. They've all gone now.
You were clicking the close button just then.
So I'll move that out of the way.
So
and
it's like a
close
Mac,
it.
the close button's on that side. The other button pushes windows
Okay, it's
behind
gone.
other windows.
Now I've just got the clock.
Now you're on the right track with the right clicking.
Clock. Digital.
There you go, you've got a digital clock.
Where is it though?
Up the top.
Oh, there it is.
And you can move it around the screen, put it where you like.
Okay, so it shows you the date too in case you forget the date.
Yeah.
So
So you can put it wherever you like.
I'll just move it there. Actually, no. I prefer it down here. That's where I'm used to it. Okay, good.
Okay, I'll be honest, I couldn't find a text editor installed by default on this operating system myself, so we'll skip the text file task and move on to calculate 14.8 times 45.
Okay, well, I'll get back into my workbench and I'm sure what? Select a file to open. Well, I want to open the calculator, but there's no calculator there. So I'll close it. You'd think that it would be... Wait a sec. No. Okay.
Potentially the calculator is not marked as a utility.
It's marked as a tool because it's a tool. There we go. I knew that. Now, I'm in calculator. What's the calculation?
14.8 times 45.
So 14.8
What do you think the answer will be? Times 45.
45.
Just at the top of your head guess?
Yeah, sure. It's 6.
No,
Oh, that's
top of your head
awful.
guess.
666.
You pressed equal. I said guess on the top of your head without looking at the screen, and then you just look straight away.
I guessed at the same time it calculated.
Yeah, right.
So I'm as fast as calculator. There we go.
Yep, she's the human calculator. You'd better watch out.
Okay.
The next task is really try to customize the appearance of absolutely everything. And customizing the appearance means changing colors, giving patterns to the background, that kind of thing. It doesn't just simply mean moving a window and saying you've customized the appearance of the screen because a window is now in a different place.
Key show. I want to see what the key show's all about. Oh, it just shows you the keys. I thought there was going to be...
It's a very
I thought
literal
it was-
name. Key show.
I thought it was giving me a
shows
show.
you the keys.
But it didn't seem to know what it was going to do. Look at the question mark there. So I thought it was going to be a surprise for
You
all
can
of us.
actually design your own icons in this, but we won't be doing that.
Graphic dump. Or maybe it'll dump some graphics on the front. And that'll change the background.
Unfortunately, no, you failed.
It's not doing it. This one doesn't work. That's a dud. I want to delete that. That doesn't even do anything. Okay, what does that do? Can't open parallel device. Icon edit.
That's if you
that's
want to
a
make...
picture?
No,
I
that's
can
if you
put
want
that
to
all
make...
over the screen and there's my desktop
That's
background.
if you want to make your own icons.
Okay, well, technically, if I put a whole stack of those over the back of the screen, it's like I've made my own wallpaper.
Printer trouble.
Check printer and paper. Okay, so I'll undo that. I want the blue background. No, this doesn't do anything. This is silly. Okay, laser. Doesn't do anything. Show config. That just puts stuff all over the screen. Commodities.
Stuff all over the screen.
Auto point. Mouse blanker. Click to front. Click to front.
Click to front.
Click to front. Exchange. Auto point. Cross DOS. No caps lock. No, that doesn't do anything. None of these things do anything. What's the point of even having them? I don't even like tools. It does nothing. Okay.
I think this would be funny for somebody who actually uses an Amiga. That would actually be quite funny to them.
Okay, this is all the prefs that even it doesn't know what it does because they're full of question marks. So WB pattern. So maybe that'll put a pattern all over my screen. Select picture. Which is, that's not very helpful if it's greyed out. I think I'm doing something. I want to use that. I did it! I changed the desk. Yeah, I did it. Look, the desktop background is changed. Dotted. Okay, done.
But really try and customise more, like explore. So, for example, you've changed the background. What about the backgrounds of these windows? Could you make them colourful too? So go WD background. And how would you change the background of the windows?
Windows.
And then what?
And I'm going to choose that black dots and I'm going to use that. Did it do it?
Yeah. Look at all the windows. All...
There we go. Now what else? Pattern.
No, clicking that made you go into picture mode if you wanted to select a picture, what you were trying to do, like a desktop picture background.
Oh, okay, no.
Maybe just cancel.
Yeah, I think I will. Otherwise I'll undo everything that I do.
Okay.
I like that. There we go.
You actually like that?
Yeah, it'll do.
You may notice that there's quite a limited colour range. Without counting. How many
colours?
No, how many colours do you think are being displayed on this screen? Like this
4.
whole video.
4.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
This whole time
Grey,
there's only been 4.
blue, white and black.
Grey, blue, white and black is right. So you can actually change what the default colours are in the palette.
Oh, can you? And here's the palette.
Yep. I used a very funny word there.
Wow.
So you can use...
So I'm going to...
See that? So you're replacing one colour.
Yes. Now. Oh, what does it
Just
say?
Cancel that.
Intuition is attempting to reset the workbench. Well, it's my woman's intuition that this is the way I want it. This is good. Get rid of that palette. So now I'm going to choose that one.
Now just noting,
I don't like that.
Another way you can change colour. No, but you're now overriding the pink.
Oh, no.
So just cancel.
I don't want to override my pink.
Now, if you want to not override your pink, how do you select, I want to change the difference? So you're now changing black. Let's say you're getting a shade of yellow, supposedly.
I'm trying to get a shade of yellow.
Now, here we go. This is the colour at the top here, black.
Yeah.
How would you change that to make it a lighter colour? You can see a kind of a range from light yellow to a black. How would you change that?
Oh, wait a sec. Yeah, move that little thing up.
Yes, so that's how you can change the shade.
Use that. Yes, good. Whoops, stay in place.
And are you going to change another one of the colours?
Yes.
The white?
I like a light blue.
You can actually dim the blue down though. Yeah, don't worry. Get it to exactly what you like. Let's get it a bit darker.
That'll do.
Okay, and then you can use...
Yep, okay. And then this one, that'll do.
There.
Yeah, okay, that's very pretty now.
So,
that's good.
Yeah, you got green
I've
windows.
customised it the way I like it now.
Can I just say, honestly, does it look easier or harder to read now that you've customised it?
It's more interesting to read because it was very boring the way it was before. This makes it a bit more interesting.
If you don't know the history of Diana's modifications to appearances of operating systems, check out some of the previous videos where she customised them to look, as other people comment, either radioactive...
Psychedelic?
Yeah. Anyway, your last task, which might be a bit tricky now that you've done this, is to make your own program for the Amiga. So you've got to now code a program from scratch. I want you to try and code a game of Pong from scratch.
How the hell do I do that?
No, I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Jeez.
Okay.
The only thing I know is
it was
basic,
actually explore the operating system yourself.
Okay, explore. Well, I know what the pattern thing is. Serial. I don't know what that is. I wonder if I change a few things here.
Handshaking.
Use.
It never sounds like a good idea. Randomly.
Oh, now it doesn't want me to. See, I changed all that, but it doesn't want me. I'll keep retrying.
What's it saying though? Please close all the windows except for the drawers.
Which are the drawers? Well, that needs to be closed. It doesn't have a little close button. Oh, it's gone anyway. There we go.
No, it's not gone. It's still there. It's just being overlapped by another window.
You can't push these things off the screen. Look, they won't go off.
Yes, they like to stick in visible range.
No.
You can press cancel to get rid of it.
But I don't want to cancel what I'm doing, so I'll get rid of that. Okay, so I've got rid of everything. Now we go into serial. Now
A
let's...
serial again.
Well, I wanted to do, wouldn't do it before. Now I'm trying to use it, but it still won't let me use it. So there we go. So that one does nothing. So printer GF.
Printer graphics.
Dithering.
That's almost like your printer settings, your print settings.
Density we're going to have there.
But you're not printing anything.
Oh, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, well, let's just get rid of that. Palette we know. Input. Well, I'll give it some input. Let's have mouse speed of 1. Let's have acceleration. Whoops. Let's put that
Does
there.
the mouse seem to be moving slower, like around the screen? Oh, wait, maybe click use and see what happens.
Oops.
You don't know what all this is. You're just
I
like...
don't know what it's
I
going to
don't
do,
care
but
what
I'll
it's gonna
see.
do.
I'll find out soon. But that thing's gone all together. Oh, American.
Oh, keep it American, because otherwise your keyboard will be messed up.
Okay, well, what about British? Why not British? Let's do British. Now, use.
No offense to anybody who is any of those other cultures, not meaning that you guys have messed up keyboards. I'm just meaning that our keyboard is actually a US keyboard. Thus, if we changed it to another thing, it wouldn't
Cancel.
suit our keyboard, okay?
Well, it wouldn't even let me do it anyway. I think I could have fun with that input, but it just won't let me do anything.
It's kept all your options.
Well, okay, maybe it wants the American... No, see.
Just close the windows. Just try it again and then close the press window and just see what it does. I'm just
Input.
interested to see.
Which one?
Now, press use.
Yeah.
Now, where it... No.
Oh, here we go. I changed the desktop background again.
No.
Actually, that's how you move everything you don't want off the screen. And you got a whole new fresh screen.
That you can't do anything in. Now, move that back up. Okay.
You have to close that
Now,
and then
let's see.
retry.
Nah, still not happy.
Doesn't like it. See? Well, what's the point of even having that to give you choice when it doesn't even like your choice?
It doesn't like your choice.
It doesn't like my choice.
Well, it didn't mind your awful
Devs.
customization.
Well, what are devs? There are data types, DOS drivers, key maps, monitors, and what's that? Printers. Okay, well, that's nothing interesting. System. So, shell format. I think I could have a bit of fun with format.
That means wipe the whole hard drive.
That would be fun.
But then you would have nothing left.
Then I could just go to bed and have a sleep. and I wouldn't be disturbed.
It doesn't let you continue. You can only cancel.
See, it won't even... What's the point of giving somebody
No, potentially
choice
you need to choose
they
a device.
don't?
You haven't selected a device. No, if you went up to format, double click it again.
What's Rexmast? Rex, it looks very royal. Well, it's starting Rexmast, but I don't know what it is. Shell does nothing.
No, you type into that.
But I wouldn't know what
Look.
to type in.
No, try again. Double click. Like, see?
Word.
No, I'm just... The only keys I can reach from where I'm sitting.
Fix fonts. Okay. See, doesn't let you try.
No, that's because I have got it on write protect. That means when you turn it off, it kind of resets.
And you
It's hard
can't
to-
even cancel it.
No, cancel it lots of times. It'll eventually stop.
What's the point
Yeah.
of that? No fast mem. I thought that said no fast men at first.
No.
What are they, slow men?
It's got like a rabbit there. Look at that, it's a rabbit.
Where's
The
the
icon. It's got a cross. It's like a no smoking sign, but it's like a no rabbit sign.
Oh yeah, no rabbits. IntelliFont. Now let's choose Dime. It doesn't let you choose things. I hate this. It just doesn't let you choose. It makes you think you're going to choose something, but then you can't choose it.
Wait. No, you just deleted a font type. Wait. See, that's how you can change. And then you, like, letter Gothic 75, and then perform changes.
Oh,
it's
then
right
it doesn't
protected.
let you
No,
do
no,
it.
that's my
Why
fault.
did you protect the thing if I'm supposed to explore the operating system, but your protection makes it mean I can't explore it?
Because I don't want it to be messed up.
Well,
When I was testing it out, I have it right protected, so I literally cannot mess it
well,
up.
can you get rid of the right protection so I can have a bit of fun on this?
No, because this is actually sandboxed as well.
What does that mean?
It means I'm running it in a sandbox. It's just...
It looks like a bit of a sandbox, doesn't it? With the background, they're all the sand. Well, I've explored it. I can't see anything else in it.
So overall, unless you add software to this, you don't think it's very exciting by itself.
Yeah, it's definitely not very exciting. It's not very... Apart from, I like what I've created here, but it doesn't seem to let you create anything else.
Try a few different patterns. Oh, what are you taking them all out of there?
Yeah, why not? Then we can get rid of this silly box. There we go. Oh, well, now that gets rid of that. They don't even want you to read this. Look.
Some of the other patterns looked interesting, and I just want to see what it looks like. Look at that.
Oh, wow. That does look interesting.
So you just did the weird spotty patterns. The ones that were a bit silly. There we go.
Could you imagine being at work and having your background like this?
Anyway, your last task is to turn off the computer.
Is it workbench? Quit. Oh, I did it. Workbench, quit. There we go.
Cannot quit yet. There are 2 launched programs. So
The
what
clock,
do you think
maybe.
one of them are?
Get rid of the clock.
Okay, try now. There is 1 launched program.
Not anymore.
No,
Well, I've quit.
It's still there.
I've quit. Put them back in there and then
Yeah.
close it.
No, the workbench, you're putting it in itself.
That would be interesting. Workbench in itself. Now close it. Now.
No, but there's still expansion.
It's expansion.
No, you left expansion there. See on the desktop?
Where's
The
expansion?
expansion under workbench. No, it's right there.
Where is it?
There! You put the expansion under the workbench.
I wanted the workbench to expand. I can't get it.
No, you got to get it rather than the label.
There we go. It was hiding. Okay. Now. How come I can't quit?
It still says there's a launch program.
Is it, where's
Let me
it
look.
hiding?
It must be a hidden one. Well, okay. Generally, what would happen in that situation,
Generally, what would happen is when you press quit, it quits.
Well,
but this
basically
doesn't
what
want
would
to
happen
quit.
is you would quit.
It wants a longer video.
Look, with this operating system, there's not a button you press that will actually turn off the computer. The idea is you can quit the workbench.
Delete. Maybe if I delete
You
some.
quit the workbench to ensure that, hey...
Oh, reset workbench.
No, I've already tried that. You would quit this work...
Cleaner.
You won't let me explain it so we can finish this video. Can you be quiet now?
Maybe it's because of the background. Maybe it wants to put the
No.
background back to what it was before you can quit it.
Back in the day of this, there's not an actual shutdown and your computer's off. You actually hit your computer by the power button.
Oh, really?
Yes, but you make sure that there's no disk activity. So it's
But
not...
is there any disk activity?
Well, as long as you've got all programs closed, preferably quitting the workbench itself, so you know the workbench is off. That's the way you would shut this down. But I'm just going to say, you win. You've done it.
Okay.
So overall, what do you think about this operating system?
To be completely honest, I really don't like it because I don't really see how it can be used. I mean,
Well,
I'm not
remember-
usually negative about something, but apart from, I have been negative on things. I'm not usually negative on things, but I just don't like it.
I think this operating system wouldn't be too bad if it by default came with a larger range of programs. If it came with, for example, a WordPad application and it came with a sound recorder, just a few more mini applications, I think you would understand it, because I feel like you're looking at it and most of it's just advanced tools that you don't quite understand rather than general tools that a normal user would use.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
what it is. So if by default it came with a few better programs, some more user-friendly programs and software,
Or just things that I'm used to using.
which is...
Excel spreadsheets, Word documents,
But Windows
the
doesn't
internet.
even come with that. Well, it comes with the internet, but
Yeah.
it's not a really good internet browser. But what's the first thing you do when you get a new computer? You open up Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge as they call it now, and you go download Chrome or Firefox, something better. Anyway, we will see you guys next time. I don't know how to finish this off. How do we usually... It's been 5 months since the last... I don't know how we end these videos off.
Bye.
See ya.